Wano ka I, pua mai a mai ka po I loka, a ka maa lama lama. Wano ka ha, ka mali ola. Wano ka poho, ke ka ele ma waho a elo kaya pā. Ka I, ke kino iho, nā mea pā. Ka I ao I ku upi o ana noi noi, ma waho a elo kaya pā. Ka ho'o mao mao o nā manao, a me nā mea pā. Wano ka ho, ame ka ha, he huna kamakane nahi nahi, ka hua huna o kumulipo o wao no ka I.
I am the I. I come forth from the void into light. I am the breath that nurtures life. I am that emptiness, the wholeness beyond all consciousness. The I, the ear, the all. I draw my bow of rainbows across the waters, the continuum of minds with matters. I am the incoming and outgoing of breath, the invisible, untouchable breath, the undefinable atom of creation. I am the I.
And here we are back with Dr. Ihaleakala Hew Len. So many questions. I hope you enjoyed the first interview. Let's see how this one comes out. But I actually made some notes because I said, oh my goodness, I have to remember to ask him these things. I know that you want to know. So, Ihaleakala, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Okay.
So can we read or say the I am the I prayer
please.
together?
Sure.
So, I am the I. I come forth from the void into light. I am the breath that nurtures life. I am that emptiness, that wholeness beyond all consciousness. The I, the ear, the all. I draw my bow of rainbows across the waters, the continuum of minds with matters. I am the incoming and outgoing of breath, the invisible, untouchable breath, the undefinable atom of creation. I am the I. Well, thank you so much for accepting another interview.
Not at all.
I would like to touch today into your experience with the board and how that, because you know how people are amazed. So how did he do that?
What now?
In the mental hospital and everything that happened. Yeah. So maybe you can kind of give us the insight. I know that a lot is going on in the internet, but maybe from you, coming from you, what was your experience back then?
Well, the experience is always generated by insight. So it's very important to know that what we experience is caused by something in us and what we call memories replaying. So my only purpose for being on this planet is to erase memories in me that I experience as problems and suffering. And so that's what I did at Hawaii State Hospital. I asked myself, what's going on in me that I experience people, either I experience them being angry, annoyed, irritable, and that's just my own stuff, and I worked on that. I did the Ho'oponopono.
How many years you had previous of being practicing Ho'oponopono when you got to the hospital?
1 year.
Just 1 year?
Yeah.
Wow.
About 1 year.
So you pick up these teachings really fast, huh?
No, I think Morna was helping with the cleaning.
So Morna was helping with the cleaning.
No, I can't claim anything.
Okay, but that's good. So, and also I know that one day you heard you are done.
Yes. And one day I heard that, and I went, oh no, no income, no nothing. Wait a minute, let me see if I can hear that again. But I heard it, not only did I hear it, that's it. That day I was not to come back. And with the state, you're supposed to give them 2 weeks notice, but I didn't give them anything. So now, the other thing that happened was they were going to have a party for me at the facility, but I couldn't even attend that.
Wow.
So the I said, done, bye, go, leave. So
wow. Yeah. Wow. I remember some anecdotes about that or sharings that you did with us about people telling you in the hallways. They said, Doc, you know I can kill you if I want to, no?
Yeah.
What was that experience?
Actually, I wasn't in the hallway. I was in, I don't know where I was, but I was sitting down reading the newspaper, and I had both of my feet up on the desk, and then this person came along and said that, I can kill you. And then I said to him, and I don't even know why, but my response was, and you probably could do a good job.
Wow.
Yes.
I also remember things like, I remember Omaka Okala that used to work with you in the hospital, that she mentioned how emotional she got the day that one of the patients actually took 100% responsibility and said, I am responsible. So I don't know if you can comment any of that, or the changes that you've seen in the people, you know, before your very eyes.
I think the most important change for me, I experienced, again, it has to be an internal experience, was the impact on the staff. And how, in my experience, they found more time to hang around with the patient, to be there, to play cards with them, to help them start money-making projects like baking cookies and that stuff. So for me, that's where I saw the change.
Now, if you were only practicing for a year, Ho'oponopono, I'm sure that was kind of shocking for you to see, like, you know, students come and say, it could be the cleaning.
As you can see, I never get very excited.
So you just, it was, okay.
Yeah, it was like,
like that.
Yeah,
okay. Oh, so you were like that before that? Okay. You mentioned also about the toilets running by itself, nobody there, the painting, peeling, you know, the plants not growing.
Yeah. What I didn't realize then until maybe 2 or 3 years later was that building, I believe, housed people who are tuberculosis. And so I suspect maybe several of them died. I'm just assuming that for now. And when people die, if they die not connected to the divinity because they're suffering, then their souls get earthbound. And I suspect, maybe I'm speculating, that those people were using the bathroom and flushing the toilet.
Yes, yes. Now, actually, one of my other points that I said I don't have to forget was about entities.
Yeah.
Because people have a lot of questions about entities, and because I know that that's a lot of the stuff that we need to clean and we are not even aware, because we cannot see them or experience.
Like even now, as I'm watching, I'm seeing a lot of gathering of earthbound spirit.
Oh, wow.
And an earthbound spirit is that part of the self called the subconscious and the conscious. So what happens is if people die, if people transition at a time where they're not connected totally to the divinity, then their soul gets earthbound, and the soul being the subconscious and conscious. Yeah.
So you suspect they are here right now, some of us, because of the cleaning and what we can do. They are coming to get the information. So
well, I think they're coming because hopefully we're cleaning, and it's an opportunity to set them free.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can send them to the light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Divinity can send them to the light.
Yes, I mean we give permission.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So you know that question of permission came up yesterday by one student, and it says, is us cleaning, or is it us just the giving permission? You know, and
we don't give permission to anything. What we're doing is we're saying we're responsible, and so the responsibility is we have stuff in us called memories replaying that create problems, which means have connection to earthbound spirit, have problems with the land. And so we're petitioning divinity through the conscious, going down to the subconscious, up to the superconscious, and up to the divinity. We're asking divinity, please set us free, and setting us free, and who will get free, and what memories get erased. That's not our responsibility. That's divinity's responsibility.
Now, when we say entities, some people call it ghosts. Would you say it's the same term, or in some cases could be ghosts? Or
I'm defining an earthbound spirit as one who is a soul consisting of the subconscious and conscious mind.
that is stuck
Yeah,
here, that didn't go through.
They didn't go because they were stuck in memories at that point.
Okay.
And so now you and I are doing the cleaning here. Well, at least I am, and so you can see things just move into the light because I'm saying at this moment, and I'm only here to clean, is I would like to be responsible for whatever so I can be free. Yeah.
One day you told me, you guys clean for what you can see or what can experience.
Yeah.
If you would see what is around that you cannot see, then you would be cleaning.
This is why you should be cleaning ceaselessly and non-stop.
All the time.
Because there's always stuff going on for which you're not even aware. 11 million unconscious data going. So I'm always cleaning, drinking my solo water, doing the breathing. I'm cleaning with the camera, with the plates, and I have that sound. That's my only responsibility.
Okay, since we are talking about entities and not that we can compare them, but could you tell us about a little bit about fairies? I can remind you of some stories. You remember in the consultation where the glass of water tool came out and you said, would you like me to tell you what I see? And you saw these fairies at the edge of the glass and they could see the transmutation actually.
Fairies are really divine beings. They're kind of like us, but they're not stuck in our stuff. So when we are 100% responsible and do the cleaning, they're happy because it lifts the darkness and they get to see divinity more and more. So fairies are kind of divine beings like us, but they're not stuck in stuff that we hang around with. Yeah.
Okay. So I remember you had somebody that had cut some trees, and then you would hear the rattling of the, and it was this fairy saying, well, like they destroyed their home.
Yeah. So when you're about to do something like cut trees, hopefully you're inspired to do it, and you're not just doing it because the tree's in your way or something like that. But the trees like these trees we house many beings, and part of those beings could be fairies. And so when we cut something, we actually throw people out of their homes, and so they get ticked off, and so they're going to rattle your place because they're saying, "Wow, you kind of buzzed us. We're going to buzz you." We had a case like that, and somebody actually had to say, "I'm sorry, please do the cleaning," and then it stopped. But one should be moved by inspiration, not by...
I remember you sharing about people maybe doing the cutting of trees without cleaning, doing that kind of jobs even, that then they had problems with their legs, remember, or their car having problems. And when you ask what is it that you do for a living, you found out that that's the kind of work they did.
A lot of people who have what they experience as arthritis in their hand, many of those people are bricklayers. Many of them work with the earth, and so it's kind of like cutting things down, and the fairies are kind of ticked off. One has to always be cleaning so that when you work with the earth, you're working divinely. So you're inspired to move as opposed to thinking that you need to do like based on memories of playing. This is what I do, and you do it, you get problems.
Okay. So, it could be also like going back to the entities or things that are around us that are affecting people, with depression, people very anxious, people with a lot of fears or things that could be affected, and that's why the cleaning is so important because we never know what's going on.
Well, depression and any kind of, no matter what the problem is a problem being experienced again. It's a memory replaying, like Shakespeare says. There's nothing new. So if you have a problem like a kink in your neck, you've had it before, and now's the chance to work on the memories that create that. But most people think, for example, diabetes, most people think it's a physical problem, but it's the memory replaying. You've had it before, your family has had it, ancestors have had it before. And if you work on the physical part of it, it won't go. I don't care if it look like it. It's better to clean the memories that create those problems. It's always a memory in you that you need to make amends for.
Okay, the other part that I think is very important or people wants to know is more about the unihipili, that perfect partner, like you say. We are looking for the perfect partner.
Yeah.
That it is, that inner child in us.
Yeah.
Remember the story that you used to tell us when you were in Hawaii and getting on the exit that you always did, and you heard this voice that said,
Yeah.
I wouldn't take that exit if I were you?
Yeah. Again, a problem is always a memory replaying. I want to make that point over, and the memory is always in you. So when I look at you, I'm not seeing you. I'm seeing my memory or my inspiration of you, and so I'm always cleaning that. So in the subconscious has experienced a problem before, and so it knows what a problem is. So I'm driving, getting closer to the off-ramp. I always go home that way, always, never. I'm like a rat in a maze. And then one day I heard that part of me, which I didn't know, said, "Hello, I wouldn't go that way today." Well, the intellect said, we always go that way. You're always pushing down that part of you, that what we call the intuitive part of you, the data. And so I kept going, and he said, I wouldn't do it. I kept going, and finally I went down on the ramp, and there was an accident. So I had to stay there a couple hours because that accident was so horrendous. And that part of me said, I told you so. Yeah. But it's just a memory replaying.
So how do we know when it's intuition and when it's inspiration, and the difference? Maybe you can explain.
I wouldn't even go that route. I would just do constant cleaning.
So whatever we hear, we just keep cleaning, we don't need to really know.
Yeah, because let's say you're trying to decide, was that an inspiration? You're stuck now. You're engaged.
Yes.
And that means everybody else is in. You cause everybody else to get stuck. So the Ho'oponopono is about constantly asking the divinity to disengage us from the memories we're playing problem.
Okay, but in any case, for some people that sometimes are confused, what is the difference between intuition and inspiration?
I would erase it. I would clean. So this is the way I would do it. I said, whatever's going on in me that's replaying memories that I'm trying to figure out the difference between inspiration and memory, I love you, thank you, light switch, any of those things.
Okay, but we could say that intuition is more of the memories and things that happen that will happen again?
Intuition is memory in the subconscious, which is different from inspiration, because inspiration comes directly from God, or from the infinite. Yeah.
Okay. Anything that you would like to share with us that you think it's important based on your experience and your years, the things that you see that we cannot see, or how God works, the things that you've been amazed by? I know that we are always amazed by the way that God works.
The solution to all your problem is cleaning. It's not thinking about it, not engaging, but clean, erase is the only purpose for which we're here. If we're willing to do that, then we can live with God, live with inspiration. So can you tell me what your experiences have been?
Well, I always tell people that in very difficult moments, when I really clean, 100%, I go for the cleaning because I don't know better. I mean, the most amazing things happen, and then I'm always asking, why don't I do this more? Why don't I give it every time 100%? But it's like sometimes you still feel that or that you are going to solve it.
This is why drinking your soda water, using a seed cord pin, having a candy cane in your house, putting reminders on the walls, molten lead, is very important, because you're not here to do anything. You're only here because you have problems. And the problem defined as memories replaying, and the only way those memories will go, it has to be erased. You can't understand those things. It has to be erased. And only divinity can erase it. No.
Okay. Could you tell us that story about, this guy coming and asking Morna about if this is the person to marry, and she's saying yes, and...
Yeah. I want to step one step backwards.
Yes.
We always are with people only for the purpose of cleaning. So the trees, I'm here only because I'm getting a chance to clean with them. The leaves, the camera, Rodolfo, Samuel, I'm only here to do that. And so the idea of we're prodigal children, we got stuff. And the only way to get rid of the stuff is to have the divinity erase it. It can't be done any other way. So my only advice, my only advice to people is clean ceaselessly.
Okay.
So, give you an example. In Japan, where I'm going to go back again, the Japanese have a certain loyalty they have with people like we do. But for the divinity, let's say we work with these people on this project, but maybe on another project, divinity says, I want to have those people working. As opposed to building what we think are networking. Networking is for the birds. The idea is you want to be inspired to do something, not that you have built some kind of stuff.
Okay. So my question about that guy asking, is this the right person to, is like we always have to be asking, we always have to be cleaning. Yeah. We always have to be petitioning because what there is right now maybe is not right.
So for that person, Morna said to him, that person is the right person for you to marry. Okay? So he came back because she married somebody else and he was ticked off. He said, I thought that was the right person for me to marry, and the only response was, were you cleaning? No. If he had been cleaning, he would have one, married her, if he had been cleaning. This is what Morna is telling him. And then two, he would have found out she was the person to clean with. So, I mean, but because he didn't do the cleaning like most people, like the people who are listening to us, they do the cleaning sometimes and they say, well, how come it doesn't work? Well, they're not cleaning. Well, why, how come they're asking? Well, it's only about cleaning. We're not here for any other purpose. So, I'm hanging around with you.
Sorry.
Yeah, and so I'm only hanging out with you because I have to make amends with you and your family, relatives, and answer. You see the leaf right there? Like that one right there. See?
Yes.
That leaf is only there because I have to make amends. But most people don't get that. Most people are trying to say, well, but I don't understand this. Well, that's a memory reclaim. You can erase it. Well, but I'm hanging around with this person I don't like. I for example, in Japan, there was this lady who had really a lot of trouble with this guy. I mean, just had a lot of trouble. So I go back the second time, she's telling me that. I go back the third time, I don't hear that anymore. I go back the fourth time, and she said, wow, you're not getting along really well. I said, oh. But that's the transformation when somebody takes 100% responsibility.
Yeah, could you tell us what the perfect relationship is?
Cleaning.
Yeah, the one that will give you more opportunities. Huh?
I think what Shakespeare says is probably the most important. To thine own self be true. As long as you're pure in heart, everything around you, you'll fall in love with yourself. But we keep thinking, like in the health profession, where my friend Leslie, the psychologist, said how a high rate of suicide. Well, that comes from we keep thinking we're going to help people. We're not here to help people. We're here to do it on ourselves, and as long as we're at zero, everybody else will be fine, including the camera.
I always remember, and that's why I'm bringing up these stories, because I know it helped me to maybe realize somehow I didn't know as much as I thought I knew, or that there were, and I still don't. But I remember when you said, this couple was kind of sharing on how much I love you, and you could see the Unihipilis fighting.
Yeah. So the 15 bits of information saying, I love you, and the 11th alien said,
yeah. That's why the perfect relationship, huh? Yeah. A lot of things going on and that we need to clean.
The perfect relationship is the one you have with yourself. Beautiful. I mean, as long as you're fine with yourself, you're fine with everybody else. That person that you married maybe hanging around and going, different places and maybe having relationship with other people. But if you're okay, that won't bother you. Because the only reason that person is doing that is because it gives you a chance. What is going on in me that this is going on? And it's tough to do because most of the time we get divorces.
We are trying to change other people.
Yeah. So I'll give you an example. In Washington, D.C., I had made the point that how women hate men. They hate us, I said. They hate us. And so I said to the group in Washington, D.C., I said, well, how many of you hate men? Maybe one or two hands went up. How many of you are divorced? Wow, I mean, the hand went up. That's, yeah.
Yeah, so no consciously. Again, the 15 bits of information.
But it's hatred for self. So, you know, when you come down to biblical sayings that are so powerful. Divinity is saying, if you're not for me, you're against me. If you don't love me, you hate me. There's no in between.
I love you a little bit.
Yeah, there's no I love you. So we're either with ourselves or we're against ourselves. Yeah. I like the idea. It's like yesterday. Was it yesterday we had when did we have this?
Webinar?
Yeah.
2 days ago.
Yeah, so I'm sitting in a room, I hear, hello, sit down, keep your mouth shut, you better do your cleaning. There's going to be a lot of stuff's going to come out. And sure enough, it came out. But it would have been hell. That whole thing would have gone down had I not done the cleaning. But why am I here?
Like when we think we are there to do something or to make money or you know, to meet somebody, and then we just need to know we are there just to clean.
So, for example, why are we in this spot on the earth? Why? If there are millions and millions of other spots we could be doing this interview. Why on this spot? I don't know, but I'm cleaning. But there's a reason, and I tell you, I can see part of the reason, you know. But it's hard to realize in the course of your life that only the divinity knows. You don't know anything, and you're only here to make an end. It's a big one. And I don't know too many people who have incorporated that message, unless you know a few of them.
Now, I would like to ask you about, you know, many times when you share the things that you hear, you know, when you tell us God is the best, it's very fun, you know, to hang out with God and things like that. That you said that if we clean and we hear something funny, do it because it's the right thing. You heard right.
I think I cannot imagine a God who created us that would hate us. Do you?
No. Well, my experience now is no.
Okay. So if something bad happens to us, whatever that means to the person, I can't imagine God doing that to you. I can't imagine God saying, I'm going to get you. I can't imagine. So to be really, I'm going to kind of a harsh response, it's stupid and idiotic to say that God did it to us. God, I can't imagine something who loves us absolutely would do anything to us. So if God didn't do it to us, what's doing it to us? Well, it's something we didn't finish in other previous existences. That's replaying again, and divinity is just waiting. So if you do your part, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'll do my part and erase. But if you don't do your part, it's an invasion of your privacy. So this notion that we're invading other people's privacy is bullshit stuff. We're only cleaning here. But whatever's in here is everywhere. So we're just saying to God, whatever is in here, that I would like to make amends for that. And so if it's everywhere in the universe, well, of course, if you're working with patients and they get well, it's because you were responsible for having made that responsibility of asking God to erase it. You know, the birds are coming. That's a good sign, you know.
So I would like just to ask you to end anything that you would like to share, or a message, or whatever you feel in your heart that it would be good that you get that we should know.
Clean, erase, and find your own Shangri-La within yourself. That's the only reason you're here. You're only here to clean so that you can be at peace first, and then when you're at peace, everything else will be fine.
Thank you, Ihaleakala. So we can do the piece of art together and say goodbye to our friends for this time. Hopefully we'll have many. Many. I know how much you love. Okay, I hope you guys enjoy it. We are going to finish with a piece of I. And
Did we get all the questions that people had asked?
well, I'm sure there are many more but I think that
We can tell the people they can clean with the questions. Right?
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly, and they will get whatever is right for each of them. So we are gonna end with a piece of I that says, "Peace be with you, all my peace, the peace that is I, the peace that is I am, the peace for always, now and forever and evermore. My peace I give to you, my peace I live with you, not the world's peace, but only my peace, the peace of I."
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kamalahia no me hoi, ku'u malahia a pāloa. Kamalahia o ka I, o wao no kamalahia. Kamalahia no nā wao a pāo no ke ia wā a mao loa aku. A awi aku wao I ku'u malahia ia oe, waho aku wao I ku'u malahia me oe. A ole, kamalahia o ke ao, aka, ka u malahia wale no, kamalahia o ka I.
The peace of I. Peace be with you, all my peace, the peace that is I, the peace that is I am, the peace for always, now and forever and evermore. My peace I give to you, my peace I live with you, not the world's peace, only my peace, the peace of I.